The Dr. Stone anime is one that has gone through a series of highs and lows. All the way back to its debut in 2019, the series has been received with mixed reviews. At the time of this recording, the Dr. Stone anime has aired its 4th season, and in my opinion, it's the best season to date. If you aren't familiar, Dr. Stone is set in a familiar world that is suddenly covered with a mysterious green ray that petrifies everyone it comes into contact with. Our story follows Senku, a genius 17-year-old student from Japan, who keeps his mind active in that petrified state for over 3,000 years. Once freed, he builds a community of like-minded individuals dedicated to restoring the world through the pursuit of science. The general shtick of this series is very shonen-coded, down to the first season concluding with a tournament arc. However, the characters always win by using the power of science. The series often goes out of its way to explain the nitty-gritty details of the real-life science that they are applying to the obstacles that they overcome. It's a fun formula that dares the viewer to try to apply their own hypothesis to how they would overcome each problem that the characters face. While I do enjoy this setup, at times the over-explanation of hyper-specific scientific details can make the viewing process of the series drag a bit. I think that Seasons 2 and Season 3 are the most guilty when it comes to this aspect. I can't fully blame the show for this. I remember feeling a similar way when consuming this part of the story while reading the manga. Because the show is so committed to using real-life, grounded scientific solutions to their problems, they are often bogged down with the burden of having to justify any leap of technology that they make for narrative convenience. So in a lot of ways, I feel like this is the best and the worst part of the series. When it's going well, as a viewer, I am amazed at the creative solution that's being applied on screen. And at its worst, I'm feeling uninterested and find myself zoning out, especially when a robotic Professor Senku comes on screen to explain some lofty concept really quick, and cuts you out of the narrative specifically. All that being said, I was late to start Season 4 out of a general lack of interest. Once I did get around to starting it, I found myself quickly roped back in to Senku and his kingdom of science. This arc follows the team as they travel to the United States in search of corn to accelerate their production. Upon their arrival, they are quickly attacked by machine guns and planes, quickly setting a new tone of danger that hasn't yet been explored in this series. Turns out America had their own genius scientists who managed to reawaken in the stone world as well. On top of that, this doctor has a previous relationship with Senku from before the petrification. Naturally, he has started his own society, and the season explores their factions going at war. Watching this war unfold felt like a big, risky investment finally coming through in a big way. This series has invested a lot of time of fleshing out the different characteristics of such a large, ever-growing cast. And now we're getting to finally see them split off into smaller units and get to flex their individual talents, which was very satisfying to say the least. They even sidelined Senku halfway through the season as he recovers from a gun wound, allowing other characters to shine in his absence. While the narrative of the seasons did leave room for characters like Gen, Chrome, Taiju, and Tsukasa to shine, the series' large cast does leave quite a few characters to slip through the cracks. I don't know that there's anything that the show could have done different to make all of the characters feel narratively impactful. I think that this is just a consequence of having established such a large ensemble. Kohaku, who was once my favorite character in the series, had very little screen time this season. Her role has been relegated to that of just being a weapon for the team to use at any given point. It is clear that the creator especially loves Chrome. As a character, he really embodies the spirit of the story more than any other. He is an example of how a true scientist will always come along with enough natural curiosity to push progress forward. Seeing him step up in Senku's absence was not only narratively satisfying, but it perhaps foreshadows a potential future where, by the end of the series, maybe Senku is killed off and we can look to the future with Chrome as our potential hope. It was also to see our antagonist, Dr. Zeno, take an interest in Chrome, in the same way that he took an interest with Senku years before. It kind of just hits on the themes of how scientists look at each other in this post-stone world. I've seen the animation and art style of this anime critiqued over the years, and in some instances I can agree with the animation feeling stiff. That being said, the art style has never disappointed me. The colors and line work in this anime are so vibrant, and I feel like it's an excellent adaptation of the manga art style. I especially love how much energy is put into the defining black lines of any character who has awoken from petrification. It's a unique touch that really distinguishes the series' aesthetic. Reminds me of how Naruto incorporates headbands into the general stylization of their characters. By the end of the season, so much plot has occurred that the story is wide open. We've seen the two opposing groups essentially merge and then split up again. While Senku and Xenu, along with a few others of his team, are on their way to South America, they entrust the rest of Team Science and Xeno's crew to ramp up production on those cornfields. At this point, it seems like we may be headed towards some sort of a character redemption for Dr. Xenos. At least the potential is definitely there for his character. But if I'm being honest, I'd be more happy with Xeno remaining as a bad guy and continuing to stand in Senku's way. I think that would feel a lot more interesting and would just be a more fun path to follow. That being said, we are still solving the mystery of who the Y-Man is, and when that does come into play, I could see a world where Senku and Xeno end up having to work together. Overall, this season really restored my faith and enthusiasm for the Dr. Stone anime. It feels like the plot is actually developing to a point where we will have our questions answered and have some narrative payoff within the next few seasons. I can't wait to get to the bottom of this mystery. I can't wait to find out who Y-Man is and the secret behind the petrification. And I can't wait to see the way that Senku and his team will restore humanity to the planet of Earth. But yeah, as you can tell, I do like Dr. Stone. This series doesn't take itself too seriously. At times, it is guilty of being too silly and relying on that humor a little too much, because I don't think that it's its strong suit. Its strong suit is utilizing science in fun and unique ways to solve the problems that are in front of our characters. I wish that a lot more people would check this series out. Unfortunately, I think that it is, it packages itself like a shonen anime, but at the end of the day, it's not really a shonen. It is more of a slice of life with shonen-y aspects sprinkled throughout. But I can't wait to see where the story takes us next. And I want to hear what you guys have to say. Do you like Dr. Stone? Am I just out on a ledge here? Am I alone in a stone world and you guys are just out in space looking down on me? I don't know. I just can't wait to see where the series takes us next. And I'm hopeful that we will end up amongst the stars. But for now, that's going to bring another video to a close. Let me know any thoughts that you have. I would love to hear any feedback or just what you're thinking about this anime or other anime that I'm talking about on this channel. But for now, as always, my name is Darius Cook, and remember that I love you.